Okay, let's talk about doing upserts within PyMongo. We already covered upserts in this unit when we talked about the Mongo shell. And if you don't remember how they work, you should definitely go back now and look at that lesson. Upsert is a variant of update. Upsert says if I can't find a document to update, I want to insert one. And you specify upsert as the final parameter in an update or replace. You say upsert equals true or upsert equals false, and the default is false. Now, upsert affects update slightly differently than the way it affects replace one. The basic flowchart is the same. When you do an update, you see if there's a match. If there's no match, you see if the upsert parameter is set. And if the parameter is set to true, then you perform an insert. If the parameter is set to false, you just stop. Now, of course, when you do an update, if there is a match, regardless of upsert, you just perform the update. And in the case of update one or update many, there has to be some sort of dollar operator here, like $set or $increment, that's going to be used to perform the update. Now, replace one is slightly different. Replace one also takes an upsert parameter, but with replace one, you're specifying the entire document that you want put in place. So again, you look for a match. If there's no match, then you see if upsert is set in the call, and if it is set, you then perform an upsert with the document that was specified to the replace one. If upsert wasn't set, you stop. Similarly, if there's a match when you do a replace one, then regardless of upsert, you just completely replace the document with a new document. Okay, so let's look at how this works in practice. I've written a short program here that's going to do some upserts. It's going to put some things into a collection called, appropriately, things. And the first thing it's going to do is just drop the collection so that the collection is completely empty. Then we're going to do 3 different commands, 2 updates and a replace one, all of them with upsert equals true. And you can see here that it's the last parameter passed to update one, upsert equals true, or in this case, the third parameter, the third parameter, and the third parameter. Now, in the first case, we're going to update one. We're going to look for a thing that has a value of apple, thing apple, and there won't be one because this collection is empty. And then, since upsert is true, we're going to $set color red. Now, in the next case, we're going to do an update many, and we're going to look for thing banana. And here we're going to $set color yellow, and of course it's an upsert true, so since this is not going to find a document, it's going to insert one. Now, update one and update many are going to work pretty much identically in the upsert case, because in the upsert case, update many is going to insert exactly one document. Now, replace one works a little differently, and we're going to see how this goes. So in this case, we look for something with a value of pair for the key thing, and we then specify a document to replace, color green, and again, upsert true. After that, we're going to find each of these documents. We're going to find the one with thing apple, the one with thing banana, and thing pear, and we're just going to print them out. And that's all this program does. It looks for exceptions, and here's where it calls the function we just wrote, using upsert. So let's see how this works. So I invoked the Python interpreter on using upsert, and what do we get? Well, the first 2 are pretty much what we expect. In the first 2, we pull out an apple with color red, thing apple, and an underscore ID that was put in by the driver. The banana, which was the result of the update many call, looks similar. It's a thing banana and color yellow with an underscore ID. But the pear is not found. Well, that's kind of weird. What happened here? Well, let's go back to the program. It looks like for update one and update many, we have a $set operator here, and we're specifying that we want color red set. But for the upsert, we're also getting thing apple as well. It's creating a document with thing apple and color red. Same thing with update many. But with replace one, since we specified that this is the exact document we want inserted, it doesn't insert a document with thing pear and color green. Instead, it inserts a document with just color green, and thing pear is missing. So let's look at that. So let's look in the things collection and see what we find. And in fact, we can see that there's an apple, there's a banana, as we expected. The pear, the color green part is there, but the pear part is missing. And the pear part is missing because we didn't specify it on this side. Now, if we had put thing pear here on the right side, we would have gotten the document we expect. All right, now it's time for a quiz.